There is something about the last just gets you excited for the movies releasing today. JP Sebastian joins us once again on your Feel Good Breakfast Show to showcase 3 of the top movies.
Releasing
today. Namhlanje vandag. Let's do this. Let's start off, yes, indeed, today. Eiffel is one that I've been particularly interested in.
Oh, for real?
For real?
Okay, you'd like into architecture, or is it just the romance aspect?
Yes, my bro's an architect. So
cool.
Whenever my brother tells me about the story about the Eiffel Tower and what actually went down when they were making it.
Please divulge.
No, it's just about the
horror
workers
stories.
and the horror stories and the way they were treated and the love story that obviously they brought to this particular
Which
movie.
I think they take a lot of poetic license with, but you'd be able to tell us if there's any one-to-one about it. Like, was there a woman who was inspiration to Eiffel according to this movie? Oh, by the way, sorry, roller director. This is footage from Eiffel. Carl and I are just like getting wrapped up in these old romances.
Let's see it, because I mean it looks so good.
So you've had your eye on it. And
I've had my eye, because the thing is I've been interested in architecture, obviously by default. My bro, when he was studying, he was right in the room next door.
Fascinating philosophy.
And when I saw the development of this, I'm always interested in what's actually behind. We laud a monument, but do we know what's behind its construction? And I'm hoping that this is going to unpack.
And also, like the word I just used, which can seem like it's too fancy or out of place, but it literally is. There's a philosophy to the aesthetic. And here, the Eiffel Tower, and you can tell me if I'm getting it wrong or whatever, but you're at the edge of the industrial era where it was just railroads and bridges this whole time, and then this person purposely chooses to put a railroad in the sky. It has a curve. There's like a suppleness as well as a rigidity, a resilience to the French sort of ethic, if you like, a strong iron lady kind of thing and whatever. And so I think this character, who I think, like I said, they might be taking poetic licenses with, Carl might be able to tell us if there was a romance.
But I do believe that, remember, I feel like what they've taken is the poetic license, given the fact that it's the most romantic city on the planet. How could you not go there?
I went to Paris by mistake.
Paris is a liquor place, good flowers.
It has its own kind of romance. Anyway, the story being the biopic of Gustave Eiffel, named after the guy, of course. This is after people probably know this too, invented the infrastructure for the Statue of Liberty, which was a gift to the United States. And then after that, he was like, dudes, I just want to build a subway, please leave me alone. But then he is challenged to build the Eiffel Tower, 1897, I think it is. Was supposed to be taken down after 20 years. Now we're just getting into the history of it, though. But so if you also want the romance side of things too, it's there for you out in South Africa today. There were so many people like in the waterfront going, hon, 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 watching this. It was a bunch of French people who were really psyched about this.
Oui, oui, très bien. Let's go to the next movie, which is, I suppose, bathed in sort of the Japanese culture.
Yes, nostalgia for a lot of people too. You might remember,
I want to see this.
I dare you, Doraemon.
Doraemon.
Yeah, come on, South Africa. You must recognize the little blue cat with no ears, if we can.
I want to see it. I think we should roll it.
The evidence, there might be some kernel of memory for you there. I think it did a short spell in South Africa. Obviously, we recognize a lot of anime stuff from back in the day, like Tikabotus, which is actually Japanese. Heidi, Macy's Berger, which was also Japanese. But this is also a classic some people might recognize. Not as ubiquitous as Hello Kitty, of course, but good grief, we're getting it here in South Africa. Why? That's so cool. I don't know, like, I'm going to confess something now. I'm a grown man who's going to go watch this. I don't care if I go watch this alone, because the song slaps. The theme song to this, dude, I've listened to it like 5 times already. It's so good. By the weirdly named Official Hige Dandism. Thank you, I'm a J-pop fan now. I know Daisuke, he's the cutest, everyone knows that. Doraemon is this helpful, futuristic robot cat with no ears that a mouse bit off, that is a butler to a boy from the past who he's trying to save from having a loser future for his ancestors, well, his progeny.
Yes.
Real roundabout, that's the original story, but in this particularly, Nobita, who is the boy, finds a little alien inside a robot, inside a rocket, I'm all like, whatever, it circles in my head right now. And it has to save this little alien from an invading other force of aliens who, shame, it's a refugee, they're just trying to get his back, and hopefully kids can learn more about that, defending the downtrodden, etc., etc. So good little lessons for your little ones in there. But a good amount of danger too, which kids have to be exposed to, that you have to fight and you have to be brave to defend the one you love. And with his friends, Nobita and Doraemon, his little butler cat friend, robot from the future, that pretty much like is a John Connor type rescuing situation.
Got you.
Since 1974, by the way, there've been like 2,000 episodes of Doraemon. Might be a classic to you, might not. Even if it isn't, it's probably good for the super toddlers. Super toddlers, I don't know what that means, whatever. Your littlest little ones might appreciate Doraemon out today.
Doraemon is out, and of course we have to get on to Paws of Fury. We chatted about this at length on Wednesday, but let's touch on it again. It's out officially. Let's have a little reminder as to what what is this?
Strongest
story?
point for me about, and I was trying to mention it to Jamie, but
Yes.
it was way too much of a niche classic, like left of field type thing. Blazing Saddles, ring a bell for you
Yes.
at all? So this is based,
course.
talking about the 70s again. Gene Wilder, Mel Brooks directed, and Mel Brooks' voice is in this too. So it was.
Yes.
So this is kind of a project from Hull in a way because it was in and out of production. It was switching directors.
Yeah.
It was going to be a live action where a black guy has to go defend a Japanese village. So again, it was the race story.
Yeah.
This time they switched it. Now it's a dog who has to defend a bunch of cats who hate dogs. And the dog is voiced by Michael Cera. Samuel L. Jackson plays Gene Wilder's character, who is Jim in Blazing Saddles, is Jimbo in this, obviously
Yes.
from Yo Jimbo. Kind of rough around the edges as far as animation goes, but I really don't care. The comedy was on point. I think it's a good balance between your kid having a laugh, you having a laugh, everyone happy. I'd rather choose this over DC League of Super Pets as far as I'm concerned. It was decent. Out today, Paws of Fury. Samuel L. Jackson's a prize in it.
I love it. Samuel L. Jackson's always good. So,
He brings it.
mother, father, please go and take your kids out and enjoy that this weekend.